Paul Tully for Boxing King Media in association with theboxingking.com, and I am joined today by Natasha Jonas, Miss GB. Natasha,
okay.
how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, thank you. It's an absolute pleasure. So, Natasha, big fight coming up on May the 1st, an undisputed lightweight title fight against Katie Taylor. That's on the Derek Chisora and Parker bill.
Yeah.
What do you think about Joe Gallagher saying that you could make a debate for your fight being co-main event?
We've literally just been talking about this, and you know, the reaction from social media has been that. I seen Matt Macklin and Andy Clark had like a poll thing on one of the social media saying, like, do you agree that it should be main event? And there was lots of positivity, and you know, that just shows how far women's boxing has come in such a short space of time. You know, no one's saying, oh, it's women boxing, it shouldn't be on. Everyone's saying, no, these deserve to be top of the bill. This is going to be a great fight. Why aren't they? And you know, over heavyweights, that's massive for us.
It's not too often in boxing these days that you see a undisputed title fight with all four belts on the line. So that alone, you know, as well as your profile and Katie's profile, surely justifies it being up there.
Yeah, I believe so. And obviously a lot of the boxing world agree. So you know, there's nothing negative to say. I mean, it's a great fight, and it deserves a place at the top.
And how do you feel, Natasha, about a fight like this being essentially in front of an empty arena?
I think for me personally, I mean, I've boxed in front of 10,000, 12,000 people, and then, you know, from the GB days, and Katie's the same. You know, we've been in Russia in the middle of nowhere and boxed in front of 10. So I don't think for us it makes that much of a difference. We've experienced both ends of the scale. Katie's, you know, boxed on Joshua undercards and stuff, and been, you know, New York, Wembley. So she's been on a much higher stage. But I don't think the type of athletes that we are, that it will affect how we perform. I think, you know, we both know we've got a job to do, and we get in and do it.
Very good. So when you fought Katie back in the Olympics in 2012, there was a big disparity there in experience between you guys at the time. I think Katie had 144 amateur bouts to your 55, whereas now it's much less of a disparity. You've got 11 pro fights, Katie's got 17. So experience-wise, with the pro game being almost like a different sport to the amateur game, that gap has really narrowed, would you say?
Yeah, I just think from the 2012, we are two totally different boxers anyway. You know, and with the 2012 games came the point scoring. We only had 4 rounds, and you know, now as pros we have 10 rounds and we don't point score. So you're not worried about, you know, losing 3 points and trying to chase them and get them back, and being more left open to get more points, which is what happened. Now, you know, she loses one round, or she loses or wins one round, or I will lose or win one round. You've got the next round to get it back, and that's a lot less pressure than getting the points back. And I think over 10 rounds shoots me down to the ground, because I think I get better as the rounds go on. Katie's, I believe me as a boxer has developed and improved. I believe my shot selection's better. I believe I flow a lot better. I believe my powers. It doesn't necessarily benefit you in an amateur to have power, because you get knocked down, it's just 1 point that you lose. But you know, now it's an automatic 10 round. So that makes all it's things, little things like that make a whole heap of difference.
What do you think, Natasha, about the debate that's going on at the minute about women's boxing? Should it move to 12 3-minute rounds like the men's, in order to, like, you know, maybe have more knockouts and to kind of, you know, draw even more eyes to it? What do you think about both sides of that kind of argument?
I think, like, if your sole argument is just to see more knockouts, I think with our sport in its infancy, especially in this country, and we want it to grow and we want more people to be involved and we want people to watch it, I don't think it's the best idea. But if you say, right, 2 minutes is too short, we want to see their athleticism, we want to see their stamina, we want to see their skills for a lot longer, then yeah, that's fair enough. But then everybody's talking about the 12 twos, but nobody wants to have the conversation is, if we go to 12 threes, are we going to get the same pay? Because why would I box longer and work more for the same pay? So if you want me to work more, then you have to pay me correct or at fair, or it has to increase. You can't say tomorrow, yeah, we want 12 threes, that's what you're going to do from now on. Fine, that's the rules of boxing. You'll always abide by the rules because you have to. You just have to move to a different sport. But then, are we going to get paid more? Because essentially we're doing a lot more work.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. I was listening to an interview last night with Jessica Costco, and she made a point about also, given the smaller pool of female fighters, if they were to suffer a knockout, there maybe then the protocol is you're out of action for, maybe 90 days or whatever. So making fights then is going to become harder as well. So she was sort of saying it's something that might be applicable further down the line when the depth of female fighters, which is now, of course, starting to come on, really expands.
Yeah, and that was always going to happen. You're gonna have the 2016 Olympic team. Now they've got the option. The 2020 or 2021, as it is now, they'll have the option, and the same with the 2024, and as it goes on. And that's what we need. And that's what I'm saying about if you just want knockouts just for knockouts, it's probably not good for our sport at this minute as it's growing. But if you want to see athleticism, whatever, skills, whatever, for longer, that's great. But are you going to pay us the same? That's the be all and end all. You're going to pay us.
There's very few sports, if any, where there is real pay parity between males and females just now. Isn't that right?
Well, I mean, male-dominated sports like football, like boxing, the females are at a big disadvantage just because of your sex, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of others. It doesn't just come down to the pay of the actual sport itself that you're getting paid, but it comes down to sponsors, TV backing, female, coverage of their sport. Females, you are at a disadvantage just because you're a female already.
Okay, so looking to the fight then with Katie Taylor, obviously she's renowned for fast hands, volume of punches. How much of the camp with Joe Gallagher, how much of it is about, you focusing on your strengths versus negating what Katie's strengths are?
I think one of the beauties of the Harper camp is I got to see Joe at his most, trying to put it in a nice way, he's so meticulous in his planning, and one of the great things about that camp is whatever Terri Harper turns up, we have a plan for. So, and I think it'll be exactly the same. I mean, like, we are into camp now, and we're just about getting to that technical stage. And yeah, there's things that he's pointed, there's things that I've pointed, and then we'll gel them both together. But I know, and I have full trust in when that night comes, when the 1st of May comes, whatever Katie turns up, we'll have an answer for, and that's just the way it is.
Can't wait to see it. Just on that, Natasha, are you the type of fighter who kind of thinks in advance, I've got so many years here left in the game and then I want to get out? Or do you just take it, fight by fight? I'm just thinking about, is there a desire there for a rematch with Terri Harper before you even think about kind of exiting the game?
Yeah, for me personally, people have questioned why I've took the fight, but I'm in no worse off a position. So we tried to work, it's obviously well documented that we tried to work out a deal with Matchroom, a 3-fight deal. And within that 3-fight deal, I was never fighting Terri until the 3rd fight. So essentially, regardless of what happens with Katie, I'm no worse off down the line. I probably would have been a year off fighting Terri anyway, because she would have had 2 more fights and I would have had 2 more fights. That you're then talking about, the summer and beyond. So, I've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. And I'd love a rematch with Terri. I was promised a rematch with Terri, but it didn't work out. And to be honest, I'm not going to wait around for Terri Harper forever. I haven't got the time to do that. So for me, I would like a rematch, but will I hang on and will I do it? Well, we'll see.
Yeah, fair point. Well, listen, at the risk of never getting served a pint of the black stuff again anywhere on the island of Ireland, I want to wish you all the best of luck against Katie Taylor on the 1st of May. It's been a pleasure having you on, Natasha, and I hope the rest of your camp goes really, really well. And all the best. Thanks for joining us.
No, thank you, and thanks for having me on. And I've said it before, I'm open to anyone. Everyone's entitled to an opinion about who wins and who not, but the fact that yourself and other people are invested and into this fight on women's boxing is massive for us. So you don't, regardless of whether you think I win or not, the fact that you're going to be tuning in, it means everything to everyone and us as a sport. So thank you.
Absolutely. 1st of May, Sky Sports box office, not to be missed. Thanks very much, Natasha. All the best.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye.
Thank you.
I'm Paul Tully for Boxing King Media in association with BoxingKing.com. Thanks for joining us. All the best.
See you.